Hi, this is Eleanor, and welcome to the Intuition Lab. This week's episode is about a daily energetic hygiene practice I use and that I've recommended that my clients use to get back into your own energy and just shed the energy and lingering effects of your day or other people. I developed this especially for people who work with the public and feel that they're bringing home other people's quote unquote stuff at the end of the day. So I call this practice ground, shield, and shed. It's how this intuitive stays sane, grounded, and just in my own energy. So I hope you'll find it helpful. So, the first part of this is grounding, and I'm going to refer to this as energetic grounding. So, to start, I would stand or sit with your feet firmly on the ground, and this is sort of an old image and just whatever works for you. Imagine or feel roots growing out of them or out of your butt if you're sitting, going deep, deep into the earth, right to its core. And just feel the pulse of the energy stored there. You've probably seen renditions of what the Earth's magma core looks like, but just imagine that pulsing hot energy stored there and just draw that back up through the earth into your body. Feel the energy filling your body from your feet all the way up to your legs, your hips, your midsection, down your arms, up your chest, your throat all the way to the crown of your head. Now, don't forget to include your back as well. And breathe in deeply for several breaths before going back to whatever it is you're doing. And you can do this throughout the day. It's great to do it when you're feeling spacey, agitated, off kilter, especially if you've had a frustrating or difficult encounter with someone, or you've heard something online, or, read something. It's a good way to just resettle yourself, help get yourself back into your energetic five state, which I've spoken about on several occasions and have an episode of this podcast that addresses that. Another thing you can do is walk in nature, be really present, and just look and connect with your surroundings. If you are not in nature, get outside if you can, or get away from where you are and just practice hyper awareness and being in the present moment. Another thing you can do is eat root vegetables, which are grounding by nature. Sometimes just eating a little something, period. And not saying, go have a huge sugary cookie to ground yourself, but just sometimes a little something, just to a couple bites, just to reconnect you with yourself. And also move your body, like shake your limbs, go for a walk, march in place, just something to bring your body back into the present moment and just reconnect with the solid ground or, the solid platform you're standing on. The second part of this is shielding. So you're basically creating a force field of sorts around yourself to keep out negative energy and allow loved love and just pure vibrations through, right? You want to get away from the anger to love, or at least a neutral space, or feeling mildly happy about something. You don't have to be ecstatic, but you are just trying to keep out negative energy and energy that belongs to other people, not you. So I would say quickly ground yourself and then just affirm to yourself that you are releasing all energies that are not yours and reclaiming your power, pulling your energy back to you. So the way I generally do it is to imagine like a sphere, egg, or a column of white light. And, there are debates about white light, but this is what works best for me. So it may work for you. If a different color feels right to you, imagine yourself just enveloped in that color. Set the intention that only positive energy can penetrate this barrier, or, the knowledge you need, and anything that isn't cannot. I mean, your own stuff, be it negative or positive, will be in there with you. But you can just imagine also there's a one-way valve, or anything negative ties, influences, connections can exit. This doesn't mean that you're just like love and light only. Even if you are dealing with tough stuff, there is a way to do it from a more neutral place, um, and make sure that you don't have a lot of excess fear, anger, other people's input in there with you. So now that you've grounded and shielded yourself, here's where the shedding part comes in. And if I only had to pick one, it would be shielding. That's just for me. But grounding and the shielding together are very powerful. Now, on to the shedding part. We don't want to carry around other people's burdens. We don't want to carry around collective energy of fear or anger or whatever it is that doesn't serve you, right? So, there are a couple of approaches to this. And one is if you are in a public space like work, or if you're at home or somewhere where you have privacy. So, to shed while at work, the first thing I would say is prayer. And depending on your beliefs, or affirmations, I am a prayer person, but if you have a Christian background, Psalms 110 and 121 are very helpful. Also, from a more ecumenical standpoint, James Dillett Freeman's protection prayer, which you can find on the unity.org website, and I will post a link to in the show notes, or one of your own choosing, one that you create to just help you to get rid of other people's energy, to ask spirit and the divine to come in and help you by helping you to rid it or just taking it away on your behalf so you can be grounded and centered in yourself and act in your own best interest. And, also asking for protection. It can be rough out there. Now, the sloughing part, go to a corner or private place, even if you have to go to the bathroom and shut yourself up in a stall. Breathe deeply for 3 to 4 breaths. And I'm sorry if you're in a bathroom doing it, but scrape off the energy with an imaginary tool or just with your hands, right? Just imagine the ick sticking to your shield, right? That's covering you. Like you were walking outside or you or your car got splattered when another car drove by. Just slough it off and then wash your hands afterwards, or if you can't, shake them vigorously. And while you're either washing them or shaking them, imagine the energy just falling off of you. I find this to be really, really helpful. If you cannot get away or do this subtly where you are, imagine the issue or person in a Ziploc bag and put it in an imaginary deep freeze to just freeze them until either one of two things will happen. You will either have the energetic space and the energy to deal with it, or it will just be removed for you. But what you're doing is just symbolically, and where our attention and energy is focused, energy flows. So if you are freezing this out, it is no longer in your consciousness, you are no longer giving it energy. It's like cleaning out your freezer and just finding stuff, and sometimes it's so freezer burned, sadly, it has to go right to compost or the garbage. And sometimes you can resurrect it, right? Put it in soup or something just to use it up. So you are just freezing this unwanted energy, getting it off of you and freezing it until it can be dealt with either by you or by higher power. And the universe has ways of removing obstacles for us when we are no longer focusing on them. And if we are meant to work on them, you can ask that they be brought back in a time and in a place where you are equipped to deal with it. Now, if you are at home or in a private place, there are a few other things you can do to help you shed this energy. So, have a ritual in place to demarcate your sacred space and time. It can be basically kicking off your shoes. Like if you come home every day, or you kick off your shoes, or if you wear a bra, if you take off the bra, right? Or greeting your pets, or anything that uplifts your soul and puts you at ease, because it's immediately taking you from this public space into your private space. And you can even imagine like there being a shower in your doorway, um, that just cleans off anything that is not meant to be brought into your home. I stress that greatly, only allowing things that are in your best interest, that are really related to you for your good in your home. Once you've started that, I would wash your hands as soon as possible after coming home. I am not a germaphobe, but I do like to get sticky energy off of me. So, wash it well and just imagine the energy that you don't want to carry with you or keep in your home just coming off your hands and going down the drain. You can also scrub your palms with sea salt or pink Himalayan salt if you can, but you don't have to. You can, just wash your hands. If it has really been a difficult day or you feel like you're carrying a lot of stuff around with you, take a shower or a bath and scrub your midline with salt, including the crown of your head. Now, if you're like me and you have curly or otherwise textured hair, or you have a blowout and you don't want to mess it up, you can use a shower cap. Just scrub over your crown chakra, the top of your head, your palms, and the soles of your feet. And just you don't even have to enumerate all of the cares and all of the energy, because sometimes you just feel a heaviness or a stuckness or something is with you and you don't know quite what it is or where it's from. And you don't always have to specifically name a thing to get rid of it, but you can, if you can't name the thing exactly, like I had an altercation with my boss, or this person at work who is jealous of me, or that person who cut me off on the street, or whatever, you can just, you know, ask that anything that is not in your highest good be released as you take this shower. Also, change your clothes and put the worn items directly into the laundry or in a place where they can air, but out of sight and off the floor. You don't want the clutter energy. For many of us, myself included, clutter, like piles of stuff on the floor, is terribly anxiety inducing. And what happens when you're anxious or upset? Sometimes your mind starts to rev, and then it starts to kick up the detritus and the misery of the day. And then something that would have just settled and just been sloughed off, you resurrect because you put your focus into it. And it might sound a bit out there that, a pile of clutter can do this, but it's anything that angers you. It could just be stuff lying out on a counter, right? Some people like clear kitchen counters. If you don't have that, you know, clear stuff away. But in this case, I would say change the clothes, put the worn items directly into the laundry, or just if you rewear clothes, if you can, just put them in a place where you can air and as best as you can out of sight, off the floor. And I think, especially with changing of clothes, especially if you work somewhere like in healthcare or any other place where you have to wear a uniform, changing out of that uniform, or if you went to school and wore a uniform, you might come home and change, and then that part of the day is behind you. With many shielding and shedding practices, the physical act has symbolic and energetic resonance. And, things have the importance that we give it, but we can make these things important to us. We can make these things have meaning, and we can make the meaning serve our energetic purpose. So I definitely recommend taking care of that. Now, what's the aftercare? What do you do after you've done the grounding, the shielding, the shedding? After you've done the shedding work, you'll create somewhat of an energetic vacuum. Now, in some cases, you might just feel like you're in your energetic five state, right? Or pretty close to it. You feel that you've been restored to neutral. But quite often, when we do this practice, we feel like we've dipped a little bit. There's somewhat of an energetic vacuum. And this will need to be filled with uplifting energy. So watch something that makes you laugh, like burn some lavender incense or sniff the oil or any uplifting scent, a scent you find uplifting. Eat something wonderful, like if you have the ability to meal prep, or if you are living on frozen meals, which I have done in the past, right? No shame. It's there when you come home and you're hungry. Just get things that you like, something that you have to look forward to. Plan to watch a favorite show, or listen to music, or cuddle with your pets and read something, or go look at the sunset, or look at the moon if you are a shift worker, right? Watch the sunrise, something like that, that will uplift your spirit and help to fill that slight energetic vacuum. So, I hope that my grounding, shielding, and shedding process has been helpful for you. If you would like to receive, a printed version of the 3 steps I've outlined, please send me a message through either YouTube, DM me on Instagram. I believe you can send me messages through Spotify at least, but if you would like something to reference, let me know and I will send it to you. In the meantime, I am wishing you much peace, much energetic clarity and love. And if you like what you've heard, please like and subscribe. If you are watching on YouTube, if you are listening, please rate the show and also subscribe or follow. I have so much more to bring you, stuff that I hope will help. And very soon I will start having people on for live situational intuitive coaching. And I would love for you to be a part of that. So, again, sending you so much love and many blessings, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.